that I talk about. I thought that I would be a person of a changing agent that I talk about, like, hard to discuss issue and bring things to light. But I was just listening to Candace Owens on my nightly journey of just discovery of learning. I you know I like listening to intellectuals um, educate me. And the thing is, tonight, listening to her and what she was talking about, it got so tough for me to stomach. I couldn't make it through it. It was about a father who was incestuous with his kids, his daughters, and getting them pregnant multiple occasions. A complicit mother, and I just spoke about the similarities of what goes on in the hood. This ain't just a French thing or an elite thing. This goes on in every ghetto in America and every trailer park in America. And this is a sick world. It's just very sick. It had me so deep into Revelations. Shout out the young lady who came in the chat earlier and said Revelations was her favorite book in the Bible. It inspired me to go look into Revelations and dig into it. And it was like, I told my mom, I had a discussion with her after. I said they could also call the book Reveal. It's Revelation, and it give me the root reveal. It reveals so much of what current day world is. And it made me say, you know what? I'm gonna dial it back um in the way I speak, because I'm listening to Candace tonight, and it was tough to stomach. How could a father have sex with their child, bro? How, like any child? It's just, the pervert thing is just disgusting in itself. But it's third world. It's a dimension that your mind can't even outfit. You can't even wear the thought of a father molesting a kid and having a complicit mother. It was so tough to hear the conversation, bro. I had to just come on and just do this video because I was just like, man, that's why it's dark, because I'm laying down and I was listening to it. And I might go back and skip that part and try to get to the other aspect. But it's just so, and I said, man, I got to have consideration for people who, who, um, who might find what I talk about unbearable, because this is a demonic world, bro. Like, I was listening to Cobra and he had me rolling tonight. Like, this, I will say, he taking off the gloves. He done got canceled. Now his writers is writing like they trying to say, like, they got a chance to be back on air. They writing they behind off, and he was on the road tonight. And but in a joke that he was making, he played Trump, saying he never had the privilege to go on. I was like, what privilege? What fucking privilege it is to be around a pervert? You never had the privilege to get on his plane. And I got the joke immediately what he was saying. And I was like, wow, kid. And then he said that the only reason they stopped talking is because he hired some of his workers. You ain't stop talking to him because you find out he a molester and you got a child yourself. You're a father. Like, that's enough reason for me to stop talking to you. I'm a parent. I can't be around no molester. I don't subscribe to that. I can't be around you and not want to whack you. I gotta separate myself. So when I look at this thing, bro, I said to myself, who isn't complicit at this point? How far down the ladder does it go? What I mean by that is, we're not just talking about world leaders. We're talking about media conglomerates who give us the news and withhold information, scripted media. You get what I'm saying? They know certain things. I remember years ago, Local 10 in South Florida, there was a news anchor who killed himself. And it broke you. That was the first time I seen the actual co-anchor have emotion, because you'll look at the news and they'll come on. Let me give a shout out real quick to a young lady named Maggie Fitzgerald. She's a local reporter. She was doing a report from the Beer jail, and this lady had tears in her eyes, and it touched my heart, because that's like the first time in a long time I seen honest reporting with somebody invoking the emotion that they feel. Not a person happy to get the big story and smile. Like, I done heard hot mics in South Florida with people saying, "Oh, I'm gonna throw you a bone. I'm gonna throw you a bone," and they're just happy to report on this big news story, knowing it's gonna be viral or something. what happened to the compassion, like in news and journalism, right? But with that said, forget all that. Scripted media, it makes you say, how far down the ladder does this go? And what are these people, what do they got to do to keep the requirements, to keep their job? You know what I'm saying? What do they got to withhold from us? Because we're living in a society, man. You better clean in your Bible and you better get into your scripture. I don't care what religion you are. Most religion stands for good morality and trying to get understanding as to why we here on earth. We all have that innate mindset to question, what's our purpose? Why are we here? If you never thought that in your life, then you ain't never lived. That you will rack your brain trying to figure out what came first, the chicken or the egg. Like that Big Bang theory doesn't make sense to nobody. So you always trying to say, what's the purpose? Why are we here? How was it ever anything? Okay, it was darkness, but before it was darkness, what lingered in the dark? It's a question that we always racking our brain about. But so we invent this morality, this system of good moral compass. It's like a natural compass inside us that governs us to do the right thing. But just one thing I learned tonight reading this Revelations, I was like, man, when the devil got kicked out of the heaven, Satan got kicked out of heaven, he got to take his angels with him. These guys had, it was like, I liken it when I was explaining it to my mom. I said it's like a president of a country has governors. These people that was in heaven, let's just say the four that sat on the throne, they had their angels. And so what person knows the Bible inside and out and how to conflict you and use it to their own demonic purpose. So perfect example. When you look at, and I don't want to make Trump the example, but I just got to use the recent example. He's tried to quote Bible scriptures and stumbled all over the words. And I went to thinking in history, all our presidents in America are sworn in through the Bible, but none of them can quote one scripture. And it's almost, I liken it to a vampire having to go out during the daytime. They just melt. It's like, this is something that you got to understand. As you're looking at Revelations and reading it through Revelations, first thing Jesus is talking about, or what's quoted to be talked about, is he said that there are going to be people that come before you that claim to be Jews. This is the Bible's word, not mine. There are going to be people that claim to be Jews, and they're not Jews. They're of the Satan's synagogue. This is, so I said to myself, the same people that are in modern day power right now, it was in power when Jesus walked the earth. And they was running things then. So to think that we just gonna unveil this thing and it just stops because we don't unveil the, man, these people been in power for as long as we don't have religion and good moral compass. It's been the opposite. It's been a yin and a yang. So you gotta know the same, like I was explaining to my mother, the same way you could be a devout Christian or a devout Muslim or devout whatever you feel of good moral, there's the total opposite, and they are just as devout to worshiping the devil and keeping their religion going on forever and ever. The same way you want to keep your religion going on, you want to spread the gospel, they want to spread that evil gospel. They want to keep the evil conflict going on. And so then there's a battle of good versus evil. But what happens in the battle of good versus evil when the evil people are the ones in power? I like, for instance, perfect example. I cannot get this to go national or viral. They'll never let nothing like this go viral. It's just not in their will. It said let God's will be done. But what happened when your God is the opposite? You're trying to make his will be done. So spreading good word and good morality isn't your God's will. It's kind of intuitive. Man, so I just say that because, man, it's a scary thought. It's enough. Let's use Mace real quick. Shout out to Mace. When years ago when Mace jumped out the game and he went and turned to a pastor, the question lied, what will make a guy at the height of his career leave it all behind and go to the church? Because he had seen things that his eyes would not, like, you. I don't even know I got a word for it, bro. It's just, imagine you walking. I use the Cat Williams reference. When Cat Williams said he walked into a party and he was like, Professor Ogilvy? It's like the people that you grew up idolizing, that's the thing. These deities. It teaches that about false idols in the Bible, but we don't pay it no mind because we grow up looking at these celebrity women and wanting to date them and not knowing the tortures they had to endure just to get to where they at. And they're not gonna tell it. It doesn't benefit them to tell it. So we be out here idolizing celebrities, not knowing the torment that they have to keep and the secrets they have to keep. And when you start understanding the people that we idolize are withholding a secret from us, it's very few of them that's going. And when they do get to come out, like I remember, I think it was years ago, Gene Hackman was saying people was trying to kill him. Nobody believed Gene Hackman and all this crazy stuff. Matter of fact, I think Gene Hackman just got what, but this is years ago. Before, recently, Gene Hackman been said people was trying to kill him. He said they got a person that kills celebrities. He said this years ago. If they ain't scrub the internet of it, because that's what they do these days. They scrub the internet, and you'll be looking like the crazy person. But the reality of it is, man, this devil's church is bigger than probably even Christianity, and we're under the dominion, the control, because that's what government means. To govern is control. If you got a governor on your car, it controls your car. That's why it's a governor. So we're under control by people without a moral compass, and we're trying to keep our morality intact. And so, and then they'll paint it to be, oh, maybe this person has a mental health problem. Yeah, a mental health problem. Looking at the world ran by perverts, and looking at the few and just people get drowned out, get mitigated to or a title bestowed upon them. Oh, this person is this person is that. It's really crazy. And matter of fact, I'm sorry, Julie. My bad, baby. I was on the road. Julia and Ali, hello, hi, hello. Say Julia. Julia, 10 times for Julia. Thank you for coming to check me out. I hope you one of the 3 likes that liked it. I apologize. Just when I got a point, that like it be God talking. It's like the words of edification. When they come, you gotta let it flow. And then and let's speak on this real quick as well. And when it was talking about a man speaking in tongues, and it spoke on this in Revelation. If you're speaking in tongues and this is directly from God, what benefit does it serve me? Because you understand it. It's your discernment from God. But you're supposed to translate it into something coherent that I can understand. So I say that to say, when people speak words of edification, be clear with your words and precise, and I'm discovering like I guess I want to make this a little longer, but I just want to say this part as well though. I asked God. Okay, so in the Revelations I was reading tonight, it said it will bring you to a place where at certain points when he was sending out the locusts with the crowns on their head, it said man will want to kill himself but will not find it feasible, meaning he will not be able to. You will just endure this torture. Now, far be it from me, I definitely don't want to kill myself. But I'm in a freaking purgatory right now where I haven't had the desire for sex. I crave a deeper connection with women than I ever wanted in my entire life. I want this like super connection where I have my spiritual partner where we could just really just reflect on the Bible and be servants to God. And I never wanted that in my life. I wanted to be the man, the husband, and lead my woman and be God-fearing. But I didn't never want us to be like equal servants to a higher being. And it's like I'm almost saying to him, what are you doing to me, bro? Like, what are you doing to me? Like, like let me live a little bit. But when he grasps hold of you, and it's crazy because I didn't anticipate this. Is not nothing that I'm trying to do. It's I'm being pushed into it. It's like I've seen something to bring that mace point back. I've seen the cloaks have come over off of my eyes, and I'm seeing that we running a country with perverse men, like, bruh. You know what's so crazy? Like, it's not a secret that perverts in prison die. That's why they try to go what do you call it? Secluded, whatever, isolation, because with the PC. They try to go PC because most people, even in prison, in the lowest point of their life, have a moral compass to say, "You did what to a child?" So how is it a guy in prison got a moral compass, but the person who don't got no so-called record, and the only reason they don't got no record, now we starting to see this bringing that back the bigger picture, microcosm of what goes on around the country. The people that just because a motherfucker, let me keep it without the cursing, just because a person don't have a record, don't mean they're not an evil person. That just mean that they got people on their side shielding them. We got right now a woman sitting in prison 20 years and they going to her right now in her cell saying, keep our name out of it and you can walk out of here free of all your sins. So you look at these people, boy, it's crazy. You look at these mass murderers and the school shootings. These kids got down rifles and guns that adult men can't even get access to. Adult, more than likely, minorities can't get access to. But the kids got it because they're the majority. To me, bro, it's just sick, bro. It's sick. I don't want to even get diverted by even talk about that. I just want to say the people that's running the world are the evil ones, bro. And they send our kids off to these wars that they have never sent their kids off to. And I've always spoke on that. That's the most unfair part, which is you send your kid to be protected and go to the best schools, and still he don't make the best of it. But yet you send somebody else child to war, and they might not come back with their life, and all you get them is a folded flag. That's crazy. That's insane. And then that person who you give the folded flag, their opinion don't go nowhere in politics. Somebody say Tyree Sneed, the immortal. I don't know. What can you explain, Tyree Sneed, what the immortal Batman tapes are? I don't know if that's a joke or you're just trying to like get attention, but let's play cadence to it. Because that's what I wanted to change and switch this up to, which is this is viewer rant. Any viewer topics you got to bring forth to the table, I'm here to discuss it. I'm not just wanting to be just going rambling. So for the other two people that came in, can y'all contribute to the chat and give me something to speak on, and I'm gonna just speak on it. Like I said, my new thing is I'm gonna try to stay away from going too into things because certain things are so disgusting. I gotta respect people's mindset to not be able to take it because I'm listening to Candace tonight, and as she talk about this father molesting his daughters and sending his sons to live in the shed, it was too much to stomach even for me, and I was like, oh my God, I gotta be mindful of my viewers that they ears. You don't need to be blind in the blind, but it's the way the messaging is that you have to sometimes ease people into the truth. You just can't spring it on them because it'll scare them. So I'm just here to say that, man. If you can contribute to the comments, and Tyree Sneed, you jumped in and you said the Immortal Batman tapes, but you didn't actually give any clarification as to what that means, brother. So if you can clarify what that means, that'd be nice. And I just want to say, man, we just gotta do better and have more understanding of ourselves and learning ourselves and who we are, and not fall into the crowd, because the crowd is a very misled crowd. You did. It's a very misled crowd, and I need people to come in with actual contributions and want to say something. Don't hide in the dark. You feel me? And yeah, it makes sense for me to be in the dark to tell you that. Don't hide in the dark. You can go ahead and drop something in the chat. Everybody working from a fake profile anyway, and nobody got their real pictures out there. So what does it hurt you to contribute to the chat and bring a subject? Even if you plan on leaving, just leave me something to speak on, because I'm pretty much, only thing I got to speak on really is I'm just still shocked that the world is ran by sexual deviants and people that exploit other people, and then they play as the moral authority. Like, that's the part that sucks in life, which is a person will go overseas, do 100 crimes, come back here and be like, oh yeah, I'm against them, I'm tough on crime, I'm tough on crime. Okay, be tough on yourself. It's I mean, it reminds me of the Joe Biden. I never give Hunter a pardon on his way out. I'm giving Hunter a pardon. Like, these guys, man, these people, man. Okay, you give them a part and give everybody with a crime similar to him a part. And what a point that I wanted to make the other day was when they were talking about innocent people might get hurt from that's associated with this Jeffrey Einstein Epstein thing. It made me think about a rapper named Iceberg. He got a song. He talk about a guy named Moose. And the short story of Moose is he was a port worker. He worked on the port of Miami. He got caught on a boat. Now, he wasn't caught on the boat. He was working on the boat. That's what port workers do. Dock workers work on boats. The boat happened to have drugs on it. So he's like, hey, I'm in the capacity of my job. I don't got shit to do with it. Obviously, I'm a dock worker. I don't own no damn ship. But what they went ahead and did was they hit him with a conspiracy because he was on the boat. They hit him with a conspiracy. So I need the government to apply the same law. If you was on the plane with Epstein, you conspired. That's a conspiracy. That's enough. We don't need to say we got you on tape. We know you was with this guy, and let's get this notion that you had to go to his island, like he only had sex on this island. Obviously he was having sex on his plane. He having sex in Palm Beach, and I would also encourage people. I got a song called Silk Stockings. Y'all should look up Silk Stockings. It's a raw song. I wrote it. I think the part for me why I get personally offended is I know Palm Beach, like I know Palm Beach, and when I think about like Palm Beach has a near and dear place in my heart forever. Like I grew up right the county right below Palm Beach. I've worked in Palm Beach, so it's like plenty jobs I worked, made plenty money in Palm Beach. And it's crazy because you never think these is the people running the world. Like just in Palm Beach, like it's rich. You don't know how much influence in called Silk Stock, a cable channel. And they had a show called Silk Stockers. I need to recome. Why? If somebody get this over to Candace Owens, please go look at that show, and you're gonna see all the Jeffrey Epsteins you wanted to ever see right on that show. It was Silk Stockings. It probably ran 2 or 3 seasons, and it was about Palm Beach billionaires and the murder, sex, mayhem that goes on within Palm Beach. And when you also think about Palm Beach, you think about how Palm Beach. So, for instance, Mar-a-Lago is on Southern Boulevard, right? Southern Boulevard, the hood is right there. My favorite Jamaican restaurant in the world is right there. It's called Frontline Cafe, Diner. It's a Jamaican, the greatest Jamaican food ever. And Mar-a-Lago is 2 miles away. I'm not making a point of Mar. I'm making a point of all billionaires live right around the corner from misled black youth. Let's call it black, and because that mainly be the poor as far as in Palm Beach. So you got a Belgrade, which is one of the poorest cities, period, in Florida. And then you got a Boca Raton, which is one of the rich you see in the same damn county. It's a playground. And I grew up off of 6 Trump Boulevard. And I used to tell folks all the time, you come out after 11 o'clock at night, you see all the doctors, all the lawyers, all the rich motherfuckers in all the nice vehicles picking up the $2 crackheads, picking up your gay cousin, your gay uncle. All of that went down at night. You see, South Florida, you will grow up 10 times faster than any human, in my opinion, in America, because all of it is there. It's a melting pot of rich people from everywhere. It ain't just no rich Americans, it's rich Venezuelans, rich Cubans, rich Italians. People come straight up and millions of dollars already intact. And so I just say, man, the ghetto is right there. Riviera, they call it Riviera. Haver Hill, 45th and Haver Hill. You got PGA Boulevard. You got Delray, Congress. This is all off the top of the head, cause like the hood is right there, and right next to the hood is a billionaire pervert, ready to send some guys in to bring a bunch of young girls to his crib, and be a sexual deviant. So it's just it hurts my heart because I think about all of the chicks from my county, Bright County, all the chicks from Palm Beach, and all the stories. And I knew a lot of group home girls and stuff like that coming up because I was like a homeless teenager. And so you hear these stories, And it's crazy because, ooh, and I said it, like, it gotta be heartbreaking to be. I thought men's job was to protect women. That's what they told me. I was always of we all equal and this and that, but they said no, soften your approach, man. Ain't no all equal. We gotta protect women. Okay, if we live on the protect women, right? I thought that's what the Republicans supposed to stand for anyway, right? Conservative supposed to be no trannies in sports because that's unfair to the women that compete against these men. Okay, protect the women. If we protect the women, we gotta protect their rights. I ain't talking about no reproductive rights because, like I said, I'm a conservative. If you get out there and you want to explain that, you know what, like it's nobody business, and you get pregnant, why should you get to abort that baby? Only time you should get to abort is if you got raped. That's it. Outside of that, you gotta have that baby. So I say that to say we have to protect women. Okay, let's start by freaking calling out the deviants. Let's start by saying that why is these men, I don't know, bro. It's just crazy, bro. Like, I feel like I'm scratching this because ain't nobody came in and dropped nothing in the comments. I guess I'm on my little temporary shadow ban. But all in all, it just sucks to know that these people were devils in our face and they playing in our face. They finna let this lady go walk free in our face when she walked these girls down to they pretty much they make her. And then now the government is saying, hey man, we'll pay you to shut the hell up and we'll let you out. You know, it's sick, bro. It's sick, man. And that's what got me getting closer to God every day and every day. I didn't anticipate, like I already thought I had a great relationship with my father, but now I'm getting a better relationship with him because I'm trying to get some understanding as why do he allow these sexual deviants to be in control of us? Like why don't he got power? Why don't he just keep them from waking up tomorrow morning? And we just wake up and start our own new leadership. We don't have to revolt as a people. If my God is as powerful as he supposed to be, and I believe he to be. Then why don't he just give them all like a heart attack and they just die tonight? Like, I say that like, why don't he make them feel a guilt so unbearable they just whack themselves? Why don't he make them feel that real guilt of reliving those images of them doing the nastiest of the nastiest? Why don't they have a conscience? Like a conscience will eat a person up, a person with a conscience. So why don't he make them people have a conscience to where they just can't stand it and they just blow their damn brains out of something because they like, damn, I've been fucked up out here and I've been getting away with it and ain't nobody gonna check me on it except for me. So let me just go ahead and check myself out the game. Like I don't understand why he won't like do that. And so but it ain't for me to question my father either. It's just a matter of me questioning just everything, bro. Like the leadership, the media, the everybody. I ain't gonna even stunt, and I guess I wrap it up like this. I question anybody that's got a national audience. That's just my opinion. I don't believe that they let genuine people get big enough. I believe you got some that's gonna squeak through the cracks, but for the most part, 9 out of 10 of these people, they'll sit there and they'll push that propaganda like, yeah, we want to find out the truth. We want the files. These bitches is part of it. That's how they stay in control. It look like that we getting our word across and we got people vying for us. Bull crap. These people already been indoctrinated. That's how they got to get as big as they is. And if you ain't part of the members only, the members only jackets and shit, if you ain't part of members only, you can't get in. And lastly, I'll say this, which it might be just totally irrelevant. But I remember watching this movie with Paul Walker, the guy who played in Fast and the Furious. And it was called Skull and Bones. And I remember, I guess the scariest part of the movie for me, which is really the beginning. And what made the movie so scary was his best friend all throughout high school was already in a secret society, but he never told him. And they was able to be friends for this long. That's the scary part. And so one day he finally tells him. He says, yeah, man, I want you to do this and that, and that. I want you to come check out this meeting. So he come check out the meeting, whatever, whatever. And so he's like, man, listen, if you join, the world is yours, man. Like you get in any college you want to, you could do this, you could do that, you get any job you want. So he went ahead and he joined Skull and Bones, and then the next morning, he go check out his account, and his account was loaded. I think he had like $100,000 or $1 million in his account. So when people is questioning where's this Epstein money coming from, shit, go look at Paul Walker old movie Skull and Bones, and then you can pretty much answer your own question. And I'm gonna just fall back from the rest of this shit and just get closer to God and lay back on some of these topics and just start watching, just be a consumer rather than a contributor, because I don't want to have that extra. I already got the extra attention. I feel my phone tap, etc., etc., and I just need to chill out at this point. So I'm gonna just fall back and let the people who got the national stage take way, and I'm gonna just support it from abroad. I mean, like from the cuts, that part. So yeah, yeah, I'll leave it at that. Yeah.